and me, we live in a little village somewhere up in the mountains. We're not in the country. It's just our own little village up in the mountains. There's only about 100 of us. We live there. And there was one guy in charge of gathering information from other tribes and from all the people in our tribe and making sure he gives a big announcement every day to the whole tribe so we all know what's going on. I mean, I would want to know, is this tribe really mad at us? They got some bows and arrows. They're coming to kill us all. Oh, this tribe says, looks like there's about to be a flood. Everyone, I would want to know. That information would be important, right? There's a murderer on the loose in our tribe. We need to know information. You need information. I need information. So please, tribe media guy, give it to me. But I want you to picture this. What if the guy in charge of handling that information and disseminating that information, what if he hated you and hated your tribe and hated everything you stand for and wanted it destroyed? How much damage could the disseminator of information, how much damage could he do to the tribe? I think you could make the argument he could destroy it completely. And I think you could make the argument where we are right now as a nation with a media that is wholly hostile to the nation. I think you can make an honest argument they are destroying the United States of America with the absolute disgusting falsehoods they push out there day after day. You have how many of these media organizations are funded, at least in part, by the Communist Chinese? Why do you think that is? Why would the Communist Chinese fund so many American media organizations? Have you thought about that? I mean, look, right now, what's hot in the news? Kyle Rittenhouse stuff. Have you really thought back to everything they said about Kyle Rittenhouse? You remember this?
Kenosha shooter, Kyle Rittenhouse, he murdered 2 people, by the way.
Rittenhouse is basically what you would have had in a school shooter. He's a 17-year-old kid. He shouldn't have had a gun. He crossed state lines to supposedly protect property. No, he was going out to shoot people.
Kyle Rittenhouse, the 17-year-old vigilante.
Kyle Rittenhouse, a vigilante.
Kyle Rittenhouse, the armed teenage vigilante.
A 17-year-old vigilante, arguably a domestic terrorist, picked up a rifle, drove to a different state to shoot people.
Kyle Rittenhouse, a guy who's deeply racist, went with weapons to a Black Lives Matter protest looking to get in trouble. He did. He murdered a couple of people.
Rittenhouse, the 17-year-old kid, just running around, shooting and killing protesters.
You see the 17-year-old who was radicalized by Trumpism, took his AR-15 to Kenosha and became a killer.
All those things are lies. And as we stand here, they put that kid on trial. I mean, let's remember, these lies, they're what prompted the prosecution to bring charges, murder charges against that kid. These things have huge consequences. You remember the Steele dossier, right? I mean, let's just again recap this, because I don't think we should gloss over this at all. The Hillary Clinton campaign got a hold of Christopher Steele, a foreign intelligence agent, and had him put together a book of dirt, basically, on Donald Trump. The Clinton campaign then took that Steele dossier and brought it to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, who used it and took it down to the FISA court, acting like it was some kind of legal document, and got permission to spy on Donald Trump and his campaign. Everybody knew this at the time. I knew it. We talked about it all the time on the show. There were media sources all across the right saying, how could you do this? This is from Hillary Clinton. This is not legal. You're not allowed to do this. And you have organizations like the Washington Post. They went all in. Media organization after media organization went all in, saying Donald Trump was a Russian agent. They knew it to be false. And yet they pushed that lie out there time and time again. And I ask you, how many Americans to this day, what percentage of Americans to this day believe Donald Trump was a Russian agent? That's a big deal. Let's remember what that brought. That brought Mueller investigation about. That brought the House of Representatives going to Democrats halfway through Donald Trump's term. No more legislative things passed. That's a major deal. That changes the course of a nation. All because we have a media, our media disseminator hates you. Think about that. Think about the Hunter Biden stuff. I mean, really, take this in. Right before an election, the son of the then presidential hopeful Joe Biden, we discover his laptop. The New York Post runs a story on Hunter Biden's laptop. And the things on there, and I'm not even talking about the dirty stuff and the pictures and whatnot. I don't even care about that. The things on there where it looks like we not only have Hunter Biden horribly corrupt, it looks like Joe is involved. It made the Biden family look like a flat-out political crime family. I mean, look, here's a little refresher for you.
There's no evidence that Hunter Biden has done anything wrong.
There is no evidence of any wrongdoing between by Biden, by Joe Biden, or by Hunter Biden.
There's no evidence that Joe Biden actually did anything wrong or did anything to sway things in Hunter Biden's favor. He's denied that his son ever lobbied him for anything.
There is nothing wrong that Vice President Biden did.
President Trump has falsely accused your son of doing something wrong while serving on a company board in Ukraine. I want to point out there's no evidence of wrongdoing by either one of you.
There is no evidence that anybody did anything illegal regarding the Bidens and Ukraine, and Joe Biden was carrying out U.S. policy.
President Trump wanted dirt on Joe and Hunter Biden. Trump's claims about wrongdoing here are unsubstantiated. We have looked.
No evidence? That was flat out lying. That's not even manipulating the truth. That's not twisting the truth. That's not massaging the truth or whatever word they want to put it. That's flat out lying. We had evidence, and not only do we have it, it was digital evidence on a computer, and we had a corroborating witness. Remember, Tony Bobulinski was the business partner of these people and was more than willing to go on record, on camera, and verify everything. We had everything. We had all the evidence in the world. The son of the now President of the United States of America is amazingly corrupt, and so is his father. And not only corrupt, corrupted by the communist Chinese, who are the enemy of the United States of America. It was all right there. And they all lied. And then we found out after the fact, Media Research Center surveyed the Biden voters. 4.6% of them said they would not have voted for Joe Biden had they known about this whole thing. By the way, Donald Trump would have won the election. So that's the American media intentionally telling a lie and costing Donald Trump the election and giving it to Joe Biden. What are we supposed to do about all this? Let's not forget, they're the ones who've pushed St. Dr. Fauci on you for 2 years now. That absurd little idiot tyrant has been assaulting your freedoms for 2 years now. The media's propped him up like some kind of god, even though he's basically a punchline at this point in time. And yeah, I mean, I can give you these numbers. 53% of voters don't trust the news. Okay? 47% do. 47% of the United States of America, they sit down at night and they turn on NBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, and they sit back and they think to themselves the things they're seeing and hearing are true. So let me rewind back to the very beginning of this whole thing. How could that tribe of ours possibly survive if the man in charge of disseminating information to the tribe hates the tribe? It simply won't. I don't know that I have a good answer for how we can fix the media, but I do know that this cannot continue. We cannot survive as a nation with this level of misinformation out there. If they're completely free to just push out lie after lie after lie after lie without a second thought, we're not going to make it. So I don't know whether we need to change the civil laws in this country. I don't know whether we need to change the criminal laws in this country, but I do know this. We have got to do something because we can't last much longer. Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me. Like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me.